Hi, this is Steve from Siemplify. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about the new features and improved capabilities in version 5.1 of the Siemplify Security Operations Platform. There are a number of great improvements in version 5.1, many of which were identified and requested by customers. For a complete list of changes, take a look at the comprehensive release notes. Before this video, I'm going to focus on 4 major areas of improvement. Improved custom integration capabilities, new and improved integrated development environment, known as an IDE, improved playbook capabilities, and new custom roles. So let's start by taking a look at our new custom integration capabilities that are built into the new IDE. So if you're familiar with our IDE, you know that in version 5 you could create new connectors, actions, and jobs. The thing that we've added in version 5.1 is the ability to create an integration. So let's take a look at how we do that now. So I select, I'm going to create a new integration. I give it a name, maybe this is Security Comp X. On the next screen, what I can do is once I click into the configuration, I can say this is a custom security product. I could also select an image, and this image is going to be used because these new integrations not only are now in the product, but they will show up in the marketplace. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. The next thing we'll do is we can create any script dependencies that might exist, as well as any parameters that we're going to be requiring for the configuration of this new integration. So maybe it's the API root. And then probably we're going to need some sort of password. So we'll call it password. We can make that mandatory. And we can save that. So the great thing here is not only am I giving now our customers the ability to create these custom integrations and make use of all the great capabilities within the IDE, when we go to the marketplace, here's where this really becomes extremely valuable. In the SOC, there are going to be engineers and architects that are going to be doing all of these custom integrations. They're the programmers. Your general security analysts, you probably don't want to give them access to that capability because, for one, they don't have the programming capabilities to make use of it, and it brings in a lot of different risks. So what you can do here is this is a good division of labor. The engineers and architects create the integrations, they publish them to the marketplace, and then anyone that needs it can go and access it. So this is a great new capability. I think the customers are really going to appreciate this, and this really does set our capabilities apart from anyone else. So let's go back into the IDE and take a look at what we're going to do with this new integration. So now I have my integration, and now what I can also do is I can now add actions to this integration. So I'm going to give it an action, and then I select my integration. So that's going to be my X. I create. So now here, if I was a Python programmer, I can go in here and start to create my different actions that I want to take place, the different parameters, the different things that I want this integration action to do. The other new thing that we've added in this version is the ability to test it. We have this testing capability built into the IDE where you can select a scope. So depending on what action you're doing, it might be entities or users. Test cases, these would be actual different playbooks that are available. And then you can run it so you can get your results. And this is really going to help the engineers and architects fully test their new integrations before they're published. So this is a great new capability built right into the IDE. So while we're here, if you'll notice, if you're familiar with the IDE, you're probably saying, well, this looks a lot different. Yes, this is a completely overhauled IDE. So it's much more sleeker. The user interface has been refined. And then also we've done a couple of things I want to note here. So the first thing is that we're making available the SDK documentation right from the IDE. So as the programmers are working and they have questions or they want to access and maybe look at and research something, they can do that directly from here. The other thing that we're doing is that we are allowing them to make some customizations as far as how the UI looks. So they can change the color. Maybe some programmers like to work on a more white background, or they want bigger font sizes. So they can do that here. Very simple, very useful. As well as the ability to show invisibles, and then also we've now included the autocomplete capabilities for Python terms that are built directly into the IDE. So the great new thing about these improvements in our IDE, our platform has always been extremely user simple for the analyst to use. But now we're really confident that our new version, 5.1, is engineer ready. So now let's take a look at some of the other new capabilities. We're going to move over to the playbooks. So in our playbooks, what we've done is we've created a new custom trigger. What this trigger does, it enables the users to create complex triggers that include multiple parameters. So I could select things like from the alert, for the category outcome, maybe it was allow. And then if I wanted to add another trigger, maybe I'm interested in malware for this example. So if I go to my rule generator and I can say contains malware. So now I have this trigger. It's not just based on one action or one event. We can actually make multiple in here. So this can be very complex. This is going to help users to model more scenarios, different scenarios, more complex scenarios. The other thing that we've done here is that in the playbooks now we've added an additional condition that enables the users, the creators of the playbooks, to combine case data and previous playbook action data. So if when I open up the parameters and I click on this, I can add something about the case, and then I can also add previous actions from the playbook. So now what we're doing this, the reason we're doing this is to streamline the playbook creation process. Makes it much easier for the analysts to kind of keep track of all the different flows that are occurring, and then it also improves the decision-making process from within the playbook. So this makes it much more capable of handling, kind of looking at decisions the way a human would. Right? You're not only taking one variable into account, you're probably taking multiple variables into account. So now the playbooks have that capability built in. The last thing we're going to look at is the ability for SOC managers to go in and create custom roles. So if I go over to my settings, I go to roles. So I have all the roles here that are listed. Now I can create a new role. Let's call it custom role. And what this is actually going to do, this is going to allow the SOC managers to define how and what the analysts, the engineers, the architects, anyone else that's in the SOC, how they can use the platform and what they can do in the platform. So this is an important capability because, as we know now, SOCs are organized in many different ways. It's not simply just a tier 1, 2, 3 anymore. They have groups of analysts that work together. So what this does is this gives some flexibility, some added flexibility in the product so that the SOC managers can really model how their SOC operates. So those are the 4 key areas that I wanted to touch on in this short video. We are really excited about this new version of the platform and feel that this is the best offering we've had yet. For more information about version 5.1, please visit us at siemplify.co. Thanks.